Where do you guys get your ingredients from?
We are getting our local butcher that we call him up and then he's bring it to us. We, as we already spoke about it, sometimes we do the beef Wellington with the filet mignon. So we try to play around.
Essentially, Florida. What is it?
Try local. We try to do the usual local stuff.
Beach is local.
The lobster, they are from Maine, as you guys can see. So today, one of our special.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
My wife's from Maine. I'm from Miami. I like Florida spiny lobster. She's a fan of Maine lobster. What do you like, Maine or spiny? What do you
I like the Florida lobster, and I actually
This guy, I knew I liked.
I am actually surprised how here we have the Maine lobster, the Florida lobster, and then the Maine lobster is attempt to be the high end of the lobster. Which, from where I'm from, you can see this one is still moving. See, this is still moving. We get everything fresh. Okay. So to go back on the Florida and the Maine, but where I grew up, where I'm from in Italy, the Florida lobster, it's the rich people. It's like the rich people lobster that everybody everybody can afford to eat the lobster. And the Maine lobster, it's the step down.
Oh, wow.
So it's the other way around.
That's funny.
So something
See
I
that
found out.
sweetie pie in Italy, I win.
Something I found out not so long ago was I didn't know that Florida lobsters didn't have claws.
Yep.
Only the Maine lobsters have.
I have a club. That is correct. Today, our daily special, for example, you were coming in, our server, they talk about the restaurants first with the customer. They explain the menu a little bit, and then they go to our daily special. Tonight, one of our daily special would be a linguine pasta with our lobster fra diavolo, which is a quarter of a pound of the Maine lobster with the clams and mussels fra diavolo over linguine pasta, which here, like a Luigi's Oven pizza, my main thing is the margherita pizza. My main thing is seafood. I was born and raised to a seafood town. I always worked with this seafood, so I can come up with pretty much any kind of seafood dish you would like to have it.
Are you growing up in Naples? Did you take the fish and throw them to the other people?
I did that. Yeah, I did that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Are you able to get fresh Florida seafood, or is it a problem getting fresh Florida seafood?
No, we can get a fresh Florida seafood. We can, yes.
Daily, like.
Yeah. We can find that. So that's one of the dish. Should I do it? Should I make? So
quick question before you get on here.
yes.
I've heard both ways. Is it better to have the olive oil in a hot pan or get it in there cold to heat it up?
Okay, I always started with the cold, and I don't like to work with the higher temperature, because when you cook, you don't want to get the olive oil getting at the smoke flavor. When it gets the smoke flavor, I always thought the kitchen staff get rid of it and then restart it. Start it all over again. It will give you a stomachache. It will give you a heartburn, and then you can taste a very smoky flavor that you don't want to give that to a customer.
Cold oil hit a hot pan.
No. We are doing with cold pan, cold olive oil. Then we add a little bit of garlic, and you're gonna wait until it's a little bit golden brown. Always a little bit of red crushed pepper. I grew up with my mom eating a red crushed pepper like it's nothing. When my mom comes here to visit, at home, she makes a little bag and put them in her pocket with the red crushed pepper. She's afraid that she go in the restaurant, they don't have it. So, papi, dile a este que me da un poquito de perejil. Dennis, perejil. So, now, as you guys see, I turn it off because you don't want to, when you put the food into the pan and the olive oil starts drizzling, the flame, it will come back to the pan. So always turn that off.
Right.
You always turn that off. You put the ingredients in it that you want to. You glaze it with the white wine. When you work with the seafood, it's when the clams and mussels, they're open.
Right.
And the lobster, you will see chappiato. You will see that it's cooked.
Okay.
Not so much from the color, but from the texture of the meat. Twist it around, you cook it like this. You never finish cook the lobster with the meat down, always with the meat up. Otherwise, when it's fully cooked, you try to put them on the plate, they will fall right off. A little bit of tomatoes. I am a big fan of parsley on the seafood. We're always gonna add a little bit of marinara sauce, just a splash. We're gonna leave it on the stove for about 5 to 8 minutes. You're gonna cover, and when it's ready, we're gonna go ahead and mix it up with pasta. Enjoy it. That's the pasta water there. As soon as we're gonna put the pasta in it, and then we're gonna cook it. Go ahead.
Do you do anything special with your pasta water?
Pasta water, number one, is always wait until it's fully boiling. As to fully boiling, then add the salt. You're gonna add salt, you're gonna put the pasta in it. Never touch the pasta. Go ahead.
You put salt in after it's boiling, not to get it to boil?
I put it after. I like to put it after. I will add the pasta, and then after a few seconds, never touch the pasta right away, otherwise you're gonna end up breaking the pasta. But you let it cool, you let the pasta absorb a little bit of water, so it's easy to mix it, and cover so that the water is gonna get to the boiling point again. Because as we know, you put the pasta in, the water gets colder, so it has to go back to the boiling point.
I know it goes without question, but pasta's made fresh every.
We have, yes, in this restaurant we have some pasta that is fresh made, and then some pasta is a regular dry pasta that you can find.
Like a rigatoni or.
Like a rigatoni, linguine, but we make the fresh pappardelle, we have the bucatini, we have the fettuccine. Those are the fresh made pasta. Gnocchi, they're fresh made.
Does it matter? I know it's a bad question, but does it matter which pasta you're putting with which sauce and which dish? Like, how do you decide I'm going to put rigatoni or penne with a pasta?
Okay. Like here on the menu, I have a spaghetti with the clams. If you're gonna go, the most restaurants they do linguine. But as I said before, I grew up and born and raised in Naples, and I grew up in a seafood town. We only use spaghetti with the vongole. We don't do linguine. But when we're talking about mixed seafood, we use linguine. Okay. So I do have that preference. Okay. Mixed seafood, like in this case, I would do linguine, but with the clams, I use spaghetti.
So Eric's a picky eater. If he comes in and says, I want fettuccine instead of linguine.
Yeah, but you don't understand, Chad. I came from a seafood town.
All right.
He came from a seafood town.
So you get the linguine.
I already know I can come here, sit down, and just be like happier than happy.
Well, our way to run the both restaurants is we're trying to make everybody happy. All the kitchen staff, it's being trained. If I have the ingredients in the house, it needs to be made. It doesn't matter, it's not on the menu. If you come here and say, hey, I want this, can you make it? Absolutely, if I have the ingredients. Okay. Now, when we're talking about, would you do it? Okay. If you come here and you're gonna tell me, hey, can you make me your pasta special? I don't want the tomato. I want to make like an Alfredo sauce. And then we're going to run into a little bit of a problem that either the chef is going to come out and talk to the customer or the server trying to explain it to you that we don't really do that. The chef doesn't really believe on the cream of cheese and all of that on the lobster. But that's what you really want. We're going to make it as the best as we can, but we don't take credit on that. We don't.
Makes sense.
So this one, it's ready to go.
This is, you smell the lobster. You get to see all the muscles are open. The tomatoes, you can see the integrity is still there. 1, 2, 3, 4 ingredients in here.
No. You put 25 years of love and respect in.
There you go.
That's what makes it this. But the simplicity of the ingredients, I'm saying.
Yeah. So now we're going to flip around and I'm going to show you that we're going to put our linguine into the water. It's not really hot, but it's okay. So we're going to put that, and then I like to cook my pasta at a 7 minute to 8 minute max because I like to finish and cook it off into the sauce.
So it goes from al dente.
From al dente to here. Well, it was still gonna come out al dente. It will come out al dente, but I do not finish cook the pasta into the water. I finish cook the pasta al dente into the sauce.
Gotcha.
It will give you a lot of more flavor, and the starch of the pasta, it will make the sauce nice and creamy since we do not use butter. As you see, I did not put any butter in this dish. I don't believe on butter on the seafood.
Okay.
We don't do it, we don't make it. So in order,
No butter.
no butter, no butter. And believe me, as I say, I try to make everybody happy. I decide to live in America, and I have to respect the culture, and I have to give what the customers ask for. I'm not in Italy. I'm in America, so we have to accommodate everybody. Now, when I make this dish, we sell a lot of it. People love it, but sometimes the server comes back. Hey, chef, the customer would like a little bit of melted butter on the side for their lobster. My question is, did he eat the pasta? Is the pasta gone? Is he really going to use just for the butter? Because if he's going to put on the pasta, you got to talk to me first. So, but most of the time they eat the pasta, the clams, but they like to dip the lobster into the butter. I make them happy. I give to them.
How do you feel about cheese and seafood?
Okay. Cheese and seafood, for me, it's a big no-no.
Okay.
It's a big no-no. I do not put it in the kitchen, and then I will not come out of the kitchen with the cheese, no butter. Again, the server is trained to don't ask you if you will like cheese. They come up, they drop off to the table, they walk away. That's the only thing they don't ask. If they want cheese, you ask for it, they will give you a little bit of a hard time, but in the end, they will give you cheese on it. But if I see you, you're gonna get a dirty look from me. So there you go, that's ready to go. So we put it here, and there we go.
Awesome.
I'm definitely coming back here with my wife.
So as we were driving over here, I've known Eric now for about 10 years. And he's very set on his ways. He gets in the car and he says, Luigi has sold me on Luigi's. The integrity and who Luigi is definitely going to bring me back. I will eat that food more than once a day.
Thank you, thank you. I'm glad you guys feel that way.
Luigi, thank you for that master class of making Italian cuisine. My mouth, again, watering from restaurant to restaurant. We're all set up here to taste that meal. Are you ready to bring it out?
Let's do it.
I'm itching.
Let's try them
My
out.
fork,
Kevin.
my knife.
Anyway, we have our sommelier Gabriele Salas, and as he will say, welcome home.
Welcome home.
You know, in this restaurant, you know, a good chef, besides having a good wife at home, you know, you have to have a good partner on the floor with you, okay? And then at home, I have my Jamie here. I have a Gabriel Salas.
I've got my Kristen at home and my Eric here.
There we go. So we're speaking the same language. So our sommelier has a welcome home. We can ask him actually, what are we drinking with this seafood platter that we made for our friend?
With this wonderful dish, the chef Luigi DiMeo prepared, which is a nice combination of seafood with the lobster and a fresh homemade pasta, I highly recommend a Valentina Fiudi San Gregorio from Campania. Vintage 2019, you're going to feel a beautiful flavor of the citruses and a nice, a lot of minerality with some great tannins, and it's a great wine to recommend in a beer, an excellent dish like this.
So Gabriel, when you have a nice wine like this with a beautiful pasta dish, do you recommend having a sip of the wine first, or do you go right at the pasta?
I always recommend have a sip first, get a bite of the pasta, and after that you can enjoy the rest of the meal, and you're gonna have the great combination with the pear tasting with the wine and the pasta.
Right. I'm ready.
There you go.
after
Go
here.
ahead.
This is one of those moments where I'm upset that I'm on this side of the camera.
Don't
Every
worry.
now and then, there's like I'm filming something every now and then where I'm like, shit, I got it wrong.
Eric, I'm gonna do the first round, and then I'm
Cheers,
definitely
brother.
having you come
No,
over here.
enjoy that, man.
Cheers, salute, and bon appetito.
Buon appetito.
And
Buon
welcome home.
appetito.
Welcome home.
Welcome home.
It's got a very fruity base to it.
I don't know. I think if a restaurant can provide you with that home feeling, where if you can walk in and feel comfortable and feel like at home, feel like you're not just
Yeah.
a client or a customer, where you're just a table rotation.
Here we make feel everybody's home.
That's when people.
I mean, from the hostess to manager, the chefs, and all our help on the floor, we all work together to give it that type of ambience.
You can just taste the flavors of everything getting mixed into that pasta. I taste a little bit of lobster when I take a bite of it, and the clams. You just had that aftertaste, and I haven't even gotten into the seafood yet. So just the way it all. Eric, come over here. Come here.
I'm doing it. Phenomenal. That looks absolutely phenomenal.
So Luigi, are you a spoon and fork and pasta guy?
I don't use a spoon.
No spoon, all right.
I only use a fork. As a matter of fact, when we opened Luigi's Pizza, and Jamie, my wife, I told her once, I said, listen, sweetheart, you need to train everyone to don't put a spoon on my dish. Do not let them, don't give me the food with the spoon. Because here, we give them a spoon, we give you everything you need, but not for me.
That's because we're Americans and we want to get as much pasta.
That's delicious.
Thank
I
you.
need to learn how to roll the pasta.
I tried the spoon for like a week before I felt like it was just in the way.
Did you get any mussels over there?
Me? When I was a kid.
Nah, we guys got jokes.
I'm old and atrophied now. No muscles.
So I was actually up in Jensen Beach this past weekend, and they had mussels. These just taste so much more fresh. I don't know if it was a restaurant I was at, but these, you get that oily,
Those
non-buttery feel.
those clams and mussels, they come from up north.
Up north?
Yeah, come from up north.
What's your favorite seafood, chef?
My favorite seafood, clams. Clams.
Clams? You like shellfish or fish better?
I think I'm more a shellfish.
So if someone has a shellfish allergy, what is your recommendation as the next best thing to them?
Rigatoni bolognese. Can't go wrong with that. But besides the rigatoni bolognese, we do have a few other ragu, like the pappardelle with the sausage ragu, which is excellent. It's porcini mushroom and sausage with sauce cooked slowly for a few hours. It's excellent with the homemade pappardelle. And also here we are adding vegan options on the menu also. We already have a lot of vegetarian options, but since the request is becoming more and more and more, we are adding vegan pizzas and vegan dishes also.
Okay. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Eric, you want to dig into this lobster?
Yeah, slide it over here. Let's see what you got.
We done?
What?
I guess the wife's
think
eating.
we're-
I guess the wife's eating by herself today.
Now we're gonna bring her home some bolognese. All right. So when I finish, want to wrap it up and then eat?
You can do whatever you want. Is that what you want to do? Chad says
think
he wants
he's-
to wrap it up, and
I-
the food is so good he wants to stop talking to you guys.
Do you blame me?
Not at all.
So first off, Gabriel, thank you for that beautiful wine
Absolutely.
pairing, and welcome home.
It's a wonderful place.
And Luigi, thank you for the time today.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
I will tell you, I've learned so much about the restaurants and the ingredients and integrity, and just about you and how you've actually brought Naples to Fort Lauderdale. We are on the water here, so you feel like you're at home.
Absolutely.
And like they say, welcome home. And if you like what you saw, don't forget to come into Luigi's Tuscan Grill or Luigi's Coal Fire and like, subscribe, and leave some information below. Have a great day.
Thanks again, Chef. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.